Welcome back. It's August 1st again. I just uploaded my NFC North predictions. I thought I'd do the NFC South. And if you haven't seen the NFC North video, you can check it out if you want. But again, I stayed up all night and played a lot of Madden. Just beat the Panthers in overtime too. But we got the Panthers versus the Bears. Okay. Now this was a game I actually had the Panthers winning. Surprisingly, they start 1-0. Now we have Carolina going to Atlanta. I feel like they're going to go to Atlanta and lose. Then they're going to go to Cleveland and just take them down. The Lions are coming back home to take on the Panthers. Panthers are going to win that. It's a 3-1 start. It's a pretty good start. Now we got the bye week. Now Carolina's going to come out and go to the Eagles. I don't think they're going to be ready for the Eagles. They're going to lose. Now the Bucks are going to go to the Panthers. They're going to beat the Bucks. Now the Panthers are going to go to Green Bay. Green Bay will win. Denver will just annihilate them. The Panthers play kind of weird versus the Saints. I think the Saints swept them last year, if I'm right. And then they swept the Falcons or something, and then split with the Bucks, but I think they're going to beat the Saints, actually. Then they're going to play the Ravens. I just don't see Bryce Young coming out and beating the Ravens, whether they're at home or they're on the road. They're not going to beat the Bucks a second time. And then they're going to lose to Minnesota. And then they play the Saints again. I think the Saints are going to come out and win this time. Now we have Cincinnati going to the Panthers. It just finishes bad for the Panthers. Cincinnati is going to win that. The Panthers are going to go out and take on the Steelers. I actually feel like that's a winnable game. I think the Steelers... Let me think about that. I think Steelers are going to win that. Seattle's going to beat Carolina. And then I think they beat the Falcons week 18. Finishing 6-11. Who knows? They can finish 6-11 and still make the playoffs because of how trash this division is. Let's go to Atlanta now. I know they picked up Tua for a little while, had him winning the division, but I'm not sure now. Week 1, they start off going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will win that. Pittsburgh usually starts off pretty hot. Now they're going to come back home and beat the Panthers. I think Green Bay is going to take them down. I think the Saints are going to probably beat the Falcons. Now we have the Ravens going to the Falcons. I hope the Ravens have like a good year this year. They missed because of that field goal last year. Ravens should win that. Now we have Chicago going to Atlanta. I can't remember in the last video if I picked Chicago to win this. I'm pretty sure I did. Now we have Atlanta at 1-5. San Fran is going to beat the Falcons, right? Yeah, San Fran will win that. The Bucks versus the Falcons. I think the Falcons pick up a win here against the Bucks on the road. Now we have Cincinnati. They're not going to beat Cincinnati. They're 2-7. It's an odd start. Now they have Kansas City. Kansas City will win. They come out of the bye, lose to the Vikings, lose to the Lions. Now, I think they can get a win versus the Browns. I think they're going to actually beat the Browns. They're going to lose to Washington. Now, they finish off with 3 divisional games. They've only won divisional games so far, I think. Except the Browns. I think they'll beat the Bucks this time. I think they'll beat the Saints. And then they lose to the Panthers week 18. Who knows? You know, the Falcons and Panthers were both 5-11. So they could be fighting for the 4 seed. I think the Saints will probably win the division now. But first of all, they're going to lose to the Lions. Sorry. They're not going to go out and beat the Ravens. Now they have the Raiders coming to the Saints. I think the Saints will pick up a win. I think they can beat the Falcons. Now Minnesota. I can't remember if I had New Orleans beating Minnesota. I think they will at home. Then they go to the Giants. I think they're going to lose to the Giants, actually. Now I think Pittsburgh will win. They come out of the bye, take down the Browns, take down the Panthers, lose to the Bears. I think they'll lose to the Bengals. I think they lose to the Packers. I think they'll beat the Panthers again. Do I have the Bucks beating them? Yes. I have the Saints beating the Cardinals. I think they'll beat Atlanta. And then they beat the Bucks week 18. So the Saints look like they're going to make the playoffs at 9-8. Depends on how the Bucks do, though. Alright, the Bucks. Generally, the Bucks have started 2-0 for like the last 5-6 years. I think they'll do it again. And then beat the Browns. Now, Minnesota's coming to Tampa. I think Minnesota's going to win that, actually. I think Green Bay is actually going to take them down. Then they're going to lose to Dallas. Now they're 2-3. I think the Bucks will beat Pittsburgh. And then against the Panthers. I think the Panthers will win that first one. The Falcons versus the Bucks. I'm sorry, this video is probably more boring than the last one. I just had a long day, that's all. Starting to get kind of tired. Alright. The Falcons are going to the Bucks. Let's see here. They're already 3-4. I think the Falcons are actually going to lose that one. The Bucks are going to lose to the Bears. Lose to the Lions. Now, they're actually going to beat the Panthers this time. You know who they're not going to beat, though? None of the Harbaughs. Not little Harbaugh, not big Harbaugh. Now they take on the Saints week 15. I think they'll actually get a win after losing twice. Then they play the Falcons. They'll win here. They'll lose to the Rams, though. And then the Saints. So, I had the Bucks winning... No, I had the Saints winning 9, Bucks winning 7, Panthers 6, Falcons 5. Those are your NFC South